Hi, it's Orit Krug, and we just wrapped up the last session of my group program for healing trauma and letting in love, and it was amazing and so touching. And I'm like in this really grateful high vibe place. I gotta make a video because it's also just such perfect timing with everything that came up about these women's transformations and experiences of like what really helps them change themselves and who they are within themselves and in their relationships is so important for what's going on in our world right now with the pandemic. So the biggest theme that came up today in sharing how much they've grown and how much it's helps their relationships and release this stress and old crap is the playfulness and how much they did not allow that or make space for the playfulness and that those deep connections in their lives. Because yeah, like things change, you have kids, things get a lot more busy and serious and overwhelming, and they push that aside for so long. And this type of play and connection is exactly what we need for resilience. So in times of change, in times of high stress, we're usually like, that's the first thing to go is like, oh, I don't have time to play. I don't have time to mess around. Like, we got to do these things. We got to get this stuff done. And all it does is bring more stress and just regulate our nervous systems more. And especially when we're holding on to unresolved trauma in our bodies, it does not help at all. It makes things worse. It adds on those layers of stress and minimizes or makes our window of tolerance much smaller, so that at these tiniest triggers, these tiniest stressors, we go into a survival response. And actually, I know it sounds like, oh, okay, play, yeah, whatever. But play, like if you're not buying into this, that's like what we need for resilience from a physiological perspective. And we know this because there's plenty of research on this. We know this from Stephen Porges' polyvagal theory and many others who make these great connections on how we strengthen our nervous system in order to release trauma, is that when we play, when we are in a activated sympathetic nervous system state, so we'll call that mobilization, when we are in a mobilized state and engaged and connected in a state that we don't feel fear, we actually feel playful and connected, right? So when we're in that state, it actually strengthens our nervous system so that we can self-regulate much quicker, so that we don't get stressed out as much, we don't get triggered as easily. So we need that. We need the play. It literally brings us resilience in our physiology, in our neurophysiology. So, if you're kind of like, well, I don't know, I don't have time to play, I'm so stressed, right? Or I just can't get myself there. Well, if you can't get yourself to play, if you can't get yourself to stop for a moment and bring in the fun and playfulness, then that's a really good sign that, you are in such a stressed state, perhaps even a trauma state, that it's like your body and your nervous system doesn't even know how to get there. That's okay. You're not broken, you're not damaged goods. We can build these new neural pathways in order to change that. The more play you have in your life in a connected, safe relationship, the better it will be, the easier it will be. And we tend to push that aside too quickly. People say, I can't have fun, like I can't go out and do this thing. I just need to heal first. I can't be in a relationship. I need to heal first. I'm too busy. I'm working on myself. And it's like, No, we can't put that aside, because this is the very thing. This is the most important thing, one of the most important things, to build resilience. So if right now you're super stressed, and like, I know you have a perfectly good reason to be stressed the F out. But stressing out further is going to stress you out further. It's just like, that's just how it works. The more you're dysregulated, the more you become dysregulated. And so we can either choose to worry about things that are completely out of our control right now, stress about that, feel like totally unable to calm ourselves and control our emotions. Like, we can either choose to stress out and be in that state, and like, it's not really like it's a choice. For some of you who've experienced trauma, you are currently wired that way. You cannot just like talk yourself into not being stressed, because that's your survival response right now. But we can make little small choices. So we can either be in that state, or we can choose to have more play, to connect deeper in our relationships, to be spontaneous. Whoa, can't talk there. And think of these little fun things that we can do around the house. Oh, like, we have a puzzle. Oh, it's getting nice out. Let's go and play out in the backyard with a ball, or whatever. Like, there are plenty of things that we can do to make things more playful, more fun, and connected during this time. And like, that is exactly what was one of the biggest drivers in these women's transformations. And it was being able to rewire their nervous systems from stress and fear and disconnection into play and connection and resilience. And like, both of them are like, I feel like myself again. I'm not as triggered anymore. Like, yeah, stressful things still come up, but I'm not reacting the way I used to. And probably 80% of the time, like, we did some deep stuff, and some good release of past trauma, but 80% of the time was more fun and playful and connected in movement with each other, because that is what your body needs. That was what your body and your nervous system needs to learn, to build those new neural pathways, to rewire yourself from fear and disconnect and stress into love and connection. So please don't put that fun aside. Don't put that play aside, because you need it to be resilient right now and to be emotionally stable. And if you're going to be stuck at home with your partner and your family for a long time, it's going to be a while, I think, then we may as well make the best of it. Like, this is an opportunity to become closer to them and change the very nature of our relationships. Like, the universe is kind of on a reset right now. And we can see that in the environment that's like clearing up and getting greener and cleaner. Like, the universe is on a reset, and so is your life. So are your relationships. Take this opportunity and get closer, and initiate some fun, spontaneous play, and change it up, because you need this to be resilient. It is not going to help you to keep stressing out. And like, I acknowledge that, yeah, there may need to be like some shifting around of money and funds and all of that, but that's a totally different vibe than like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? Like, with money, blah, 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 into planning and proactivity. Because when we're in a stress state, like, there's no amount of planning that can be done that's going to be in like a calm, regulated, sensible state. That's just not how our bodies respond or operate on high stress. So yes, you got to take the steps to plan and to make it through this time. But all of that can be done playfully and and joyfully even. Like, yeah, it might sound so far-fetched from you right now, but this is why I'm offering a free movement group where we will have this group movement experience for you to just get a taste, like just get a little taste of what you need in order to build resiliency right now. And yes, it's a lot of it is about play and fun and joy, but your body and your nervous system is unique. So there's going to be a certain specific way that that's going to be useful for you, or a way that you need to approach that versus someone else, because you also remember all your trauma memories and feelings in your body. So the way that you need to approach or express yourself in a relationship is going to be totally different than someone else. So if you are interested in joining my free movement group on building resiliency and having emotional stability during this time so that you can become closer to your relationships instead of isolating, and become really closer, then drop me an emoji below. And I will share with you the link to sign up because it's not ready yet. So drop me an emoji below if you're interested in joining the free movement group. And honestly, if you're feeling stressed, isolated, it's hard to relax, it's hard to sleep right now, you need this. And it's not going to help you to stay isolated and stay stressed. So come and join me. Drop the emoji below and I will share with you the link when it's ready. All right. See you soon. Bye.